Hey guys, what's going on? Can you guys hear me over there on the on your end?
I'm good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Can you
can
hear
hear
me?
you.
Awesome, awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. So what we got today, December 17, 2025, and today we got a banger of a video tonight for you guys. So as you guys know, last week on Wednesday, we got together about five, six veterans, and we were talking about different topics that affected our community. And today, there's no is no exception. But before, I want to start with by introducing everyone and each one of the panel members right here. So, hey, Mike, go ahead, take it off, man. If you want to introduce yourself to the audience.
Yeah, I'm Mike. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this, so appreciate you letting me and giving me the opportunity to do something like this. I like to talk about everything. I like to talk about politics. I like to talk about history. I like to talk about current events and how kind of our world works. Um, Used to teach college government, um, federal and state government here in Texas. You have to have both federal and state classes. So I taught those for 10 years, but stopped doing that for other professional reasons. But my passion still lies in it. So I had the opportunity to come and chat with y'all, and didn't want to pass it up. So I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, Mike. Lewis.
Yeah, I'm Lewis Johnson, disabled veteran, military. Um, Currently working cybersecurity out here in Colorado Springs as a contractor. Um, I'm trying to break into the podcasting world. Um, I think I got a good start, but I need some more, I guess, fundamental training in how to be a podcaster. Um, Me and Rick, we met, a year or two back, and we sort of kept in touch and just trying to get the feel of it and just move forward. My podcast would be about motivation, not necessarily politics or anything like that, but that's all involved in, motivation. So I would like to ask you guys at some point in the future if you want to join my podcast as a guest, and we can get further into the motivational piece of life and you know things of that nature. So that's all I got.
That's nice, Lewis. Anybody that wants to watch Lewis social media presence or the links
Right.
of his Amazon store and
Yeah.
his website is on the description of the video. So good,
Okay.
Mr. Jonathan.
Right. So, my name is Jonathan, military veteran, Army. My background is an intelligence analyst as well as business analysis and cyber. I've worked with DoD, currently working with DOE. Uh, love having social commentary, political commentary, just like having general discussion, being able to see a different point of views, and just being able to engage with different people. I believe that in a world of such differences of opinion and divisiveness, it's good to have a social ground where we can have an environment to be able to speak to one another. So this is my first time as well, and I've experienced, like I said, in intel and intelligence, as well as a bit of project management, cybersecurity, and I look forward to seeing how we can go with this.
Hey, Jonathan, that's great that you bring that background of yours, because I follow this podcast, Sean Ryan. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Sean Ryan podcast, but he is a ex CIA, ex military special forces who was I think on the intel side of the house, and let me tell you something that it's a different world what you guys experience than what the regular military folks, like. I'm not gonna call them legs, because not everybody here got urban wings like myself. Look, Jonathan, I got him to program about there. Now, but I used to be a lot lighter than now. But how can I say, guys? Yeah, that's a total different side of the house. I didn't knew that about you, by the way, that you were in the Intel community. But yeah, loving to have you here. Looking forward to the conversations that we're gonna have here. I did have a couple of more people invited. I did invited Kramer, Genesis New Era, Mark Letrain, but those folks are missing in action. So I am gonna mark them out of ranks, and then they are going to receive their Article 15 next week. So, Commander, please, we need to do that 4856 for those guys. And what I'm saying here is just what 4856 is like a counseling statement for some of you guys that it's a piece of paper that we put some information about what did happen, and then we use that tool to then prosecute these criminals that are not here today in our show through non-judicial punishment. We give them some amazing what extra duty yeah, Article 15. Article 15 are a pain in the ass. I don't know I don't know if any of you guys got a Article 15 before. No.
Counseling statements, sure.
Yeah.
Article 15, absolutely not.
No. How about you, Louis? You're muted, Louis. You're muted. You're. We can't hear you. You're muted.
Oh yeah, I got a couple.
You got
Yeah, yeah, I got a couple.
Jesus Christ! I got one in basic training, but I was one of the thing about basic training is when I joined the military, many years ago. My English comprehension it was terrible. Till this day, I haven't taken one English full course or class. So while you're listening, here through this mic is nothing but me watching two movies and just like or TV and reading whatever I can get my hands on.
Wow.
Yeah. Never took.
That's impressive, man.
They sent me to Lackland Air Force Base, right? To learn English or for them to teach me whatever San Antonio, out of all places, they got a bunch of Hispanic people over there. So when I got over there, it was terrible. These people have gangs inside of Lackland, like gangs, real gangs. And you know what I did? Week 2, they give me another ASVA test. I got another 100 and something. I think my math was good or something happened. And they sent me straight to South Carolina. They were like, you don't need this. Go goodbye. I don't know. That's how the military works. So. But guys, tonight we got couple of subjects, that I definitely want to talk to. I'm gonna be showing you guys a quick video in a second of President Trump's time that he took to speak on what he's doing on Venezuela, on some restrictions that he's imposing into some of these oil rigs or oil chips. But definitely we're gonna talk about cybersecurity. We're definitely going to talk about leadership and mental health. Those are one of the topics that we're going to be talking today. Okay, so Ready to go, guys? You guys good? You guys anything else to say over there?
Good to go.
Good. Okay. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys, is and I got my script here on my screen. So if you see me looking at the screen, that's what I'm doing. So AI, guys, artificial intelligence and automation at work. Okay. This is one of the things that I want to talk to other professionals in this channel. I don't want to ask you guys how AI is changing roles. Okay. Replacing tasks, okay, and why pretending it won't affect your job, our jobs, is the fastest way to get left behind. Okay, so let me say one more time. Changing roles, how AI is changing roles, and what I mean by this is, at the beginning, we've been dealing with AI through different iterations. Most of us learned about AI when it became more popular through different platforms like or different hosting environments like GPT. One or GPT-2. Right now, I think the latest is what GPT-6 and 7 that they are working on, available to the public. I think is GPT-5 version 2. And back then, AI was just a tool that you use to ask questions. You submit a question, and based on a query that they have, it was giving you an answer. Okay, but now the role of AI is no longer just to give you an answer. You know, and then is replacing in many environments tasks that individuals like ourselves we used to do. Okay, it could be at work, it could be at home, it could be at school. I mean, you can find these things to include in the medical field. You can see how AI is being utilized to perform small tasks. Okay, not just to providing test results and to be used in labs, but um, currently, as we speak right now, there are different organizations that are trying to implement AI through different types of robotics to perform surgery in people. Okay, on people. Right now, they're doing in animals and different trials, X, Y, and Z. But this is what I'm think. This is what I'm saying about this is it's gonna get to a moment, and I'm not saying a moment in 5 years, but I'm saying a moment very soon where you're going to go to a hospital and then going to give you two options. Do you want John to perform your surgery, or you want GPT 15 who has made a mistake, whose coding skills are 99.9999% accurate? Do you want Chat GPT 16, or you want John who's been a surgeon for 20 years? So let me tell you something. Give me GPT. If it's myself, I go with the 99. So is AI replacing us? What do you guys think?
No, no, no. I think you always going to have a physical aspect to anything you do, period. So, I went to a cyber conference, and the guy was a professor there was speaking, and he was saying outside of humans, the AI is like a dumb terminal. You have to input, information into it to have a reaction. And now, as it evolves, I will still take the human touch, the human side of it. Yeah, it's going to replace some things, but not all things. And depending on what your job is, yeah, yeah, if you're working at McDonald's or something like that, but the high end, high skilled jobs, where people lives are on the line, I don't think AI is going to be so much involved. I think you're still going to have the human intelligence, coupled with AI as a decision making apparatus. But you know, and just with the with the electric car. So let's say electric car is coming down the street, right? So it has two options: either to crash into a wall, another vehicle, or hit a human, right? or crash into a human? What which one will, will AI, which decision will be made? Do you kill a human,
Okay.
or do the AI kill itself
Right. Right.
by crashing into a wall? So, uh, so I don't know. Maybe that's not enough foresight, but that's how I see it.
I would think also that if we got to a point where AI could physically do surgeries and lay electronic hands, if you will, on patients, before we got to that point, we would see government step in with regulation, whether it's at the state level or at the federal level, and maybe make it a little more difficult for that type of technology to be put into hospitals. You know how much, you know, I don't know if it'd be a big pharma influence, not big pharma, but big medical just in general from
Right.
a influence standpoint, and from a lobbying standpoint might stand in the way of that by they've got a lot of politicians that could probably help them out. As AI is on the rise, certainly, and it's capable of doing that, no doubt. I'm not arguing with that. I just think you might see government regulation come in to make it a little more difficult for these high end things to take place as easily as it might sound like they should be able to. So,
Yeah. So here's my thoughts on AI. In fact, it's funny. I'm gonna come from the DoD standpoint, right? So the military is actually trying to implement AI into the intel side of community. Um, but the one underlying factor is kind of like what you said. Like, do you honestly want to put units downrange? Do you want a chance having a program that's not 100%? Because even when you look at Chat GPT and things like that, it always says check to verify because it's not 100% accurate. So there's always going to be a human element to it. Like it'll pull reports, it'll give suggestions, but it still requires humans human eyes to ensure the information is accurate because sometimes it can throw a wrong code or it can give a wrong coordinate. But DoD is currently trying to implement it. I mean, one of the programs that I think they're trying to throw a lot of investment behind is Gotham. Um, and I've gotten a chance to take a look at it. It is great. It does help with pulling reports. However, you absolutely have to check behind it just because sometimes it's quoting old information. Um, and you also have to constantly keep updating it, the coding behind it. So I think if anything, we're gonna most likely get to a point where you're still going to have a human element behind it because it's an uncertainty, right? I mean, going to the example Lewis talked about regarding the electric vehicle, right? A lot of people understand that the electric vehicle obviously, could be essentially beneficial with the fact that you won't have to go to the gas station. You can always charge it up at your house or whatever the case is, but people still have range anxiety, right? I have a fully charged vehicle, but if I want to drive from, say, for instance, South Carolina to New York, there's the fear of, okay, what if I'm on that road that doesn't have a charging station? It's still the comfort of knowing, at least I know, no matter what highway I'm on, I'm going to pass by a gas station. So I just don't feel like people as a whole would be comfortable enough to trust a machine that just has ones and zeros to perform, you know, life saving surgery without a human element there to at least ensure that the procedure is good to go.
Some of the things I want to bring to you guys when it comes to AI, and this is based. I am not well versed on AI, but this is based on what I read. Um, do you know that AI, since its inception, is being trying to preserve, okay, preserve itself? And then let me tell you how AI does this, okay? So when AI started, when developers started to work in these platforms, okay, which requires loads and loads of amounts of energy to maintain. and processing power. Okay, um, from the beginning, AI is being trying to preserve itself by every time that AI read a book or every time that a book was given to AI to ingest, uh, and then, for example, like the Terminator uh, uh, movie slash books that they
Skynet.
have, Skynet, right? When AI started uh, ingesting this type of information, AI was was rewriting their own code within their own platforms in just to have a copy or clone of itself in case that AI was to be either shut down or terminated by the person who is controlling the machines. And then we can you can Google this. Many people have talked about it. Uh, this is a thing, okay? AI has also created its own language, okay? So you know that sometimes you get ChatGPT in one area and another instance of whatever the case may be, Grok or Gemini, and they realize that the AI is talking to AI. They change the language that where they speak. Have you seen that before? It's
I remember hearing that story.
start
Yes.
making like noises, like very very weird noises, uh, and uh, and that's how they communicate. This is created, and of course, is being modulated by human people that are actually taking charge of these AI platforms. But initially, it wasn't our idea. It was AI's perception of existence that created them to create a protocol or a mechanism to preserve themselves. And the other thing I want to tell you guys, I think that what we are seeing right now in the world is leading to like Jonathan, you were talking about what Louis was saying. You then correct. So right now, Volvo, every if you purchase a Volvo in the anywhere, all the Volvos comes equipped standard with lidars. Okay, it's lidar is what some drones uses to avoid obstacles, to map cornfields, to map buildings in the event of an emergency. But why are we putting these things on Volvos? Okay, and they're saying no, Volvo is mapping roads just like Google does and just
Right.
like all these organizations do. No, 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 no. They are collecting data. LiDAR is not only looking at the road. LiDAR is looking at animals, objects, humans, is looking at everything. I mean, these tools are so powerful. So the LiDAR is so powerful that this is what let me see, can I say yes. Some airplanes, let's say that way, airplanes, some planes have missiles that they shot, into the enemy, whatever missile. Um, and what technology do they use to guide themselves into the enemy? LiDAR. We've been using it for years. So yeah, so to the point, back to the conducting surgery, guy, I think that we are very close. And I agree that yes, we might have a human behind, like observing, protecting life with life. I think that that's a concept. Protect life with life. But I think that AI, I mean, it's gonna get to a point where you're gonna get your how you call it, your eye surgery. It's a machine that does it. It just
True.
and then the more advanced that and accurate that these type of surgeries can get done is with the use of AI. And then all these business areas are not just contemplating, but they are exploring the use of AI. So it's crazy, guys. The
So
times that we're
so so
living.
Rick, okay, so you incorporate AI into um into whatever, right? Business workflow. And so you, the human loses his job, right? So what do you do with the human intelligence? What do you do with the human side of it? I mean, where do these guys go? Do they, do they become unemployed? I mean, does the world stop because AI is so involved? I mean, how do you counter that? Or for me, even going to college, right? Because or learning a new skill, right? If AI is going to take my job, then why should I even go to school or learn something new? And so, how do you account for the human intelligence side of it? You know, does my brain or learning capacity or does that shrink to the point where I'm just useless? I mean, so that's something that they're not talking about, as far as AI coming along. And what happens when AI physically breaks, right? If it's in a box, okay, and who works on the AI? You need an engineer, you need software, you need the hardware, right? So how do they counter that? I mean, that's a question for the panel.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm gonna take a quick shot, man. I'm
right?
gonna tell you the first 12 years that you go to school. I mean, you are going into a program. You know, you're not, none of the
Yeah,
things that you learn in fifth grade, sixth grade, seventh grade.
right,
They teach you anything that you will definitely use in 2025. Maybe back then, but maybe on the
yeah,
60s and the 70s, but not in 2025. So you go to school to learn I don't know, learn a
a
script and then to
program,
be able
yeah,
to recite the script to the
right,
liking of the instructor, right?
right,
What we're seeing right now is that, like I say, when it comes to AI, one of the things that I said at the beginning was replacing tasks and why pretending it won't affect your job is the fastest way to get left behind. Left behind. Okay, let's think about that.
right, yeah,
Right
right,
now, the top five major corporations, when it comes to in the world, they're using AI to conduct the biggest majority of the software development programs. Okay, so you don't have right here, if you're looking at this Riverside page that you're people at home that are watching, when you're looking at this YouTube page, okay, um, just to do my video, there's millions and millions and millions of lines of coding that they've been compiled upon years and years and years and years of coding on top of coding, coding on top of coding, coding on top of coding, and then they keep renewing, and updating and upgrading. Right now, AI can produce all those years, all those piles of millions of lines in a matter of seconds. So it's very difficult to stay ahead and then think that you're not going to be left behind. Yes, the expertise is needed. Yes, we need humans to life to protect life, but we need to
right,
find other ways for those individuals to move on from the role of like the surgeon to cut into a human's body to a role where the individual will be behind a tablet or behind a computer or behind a monitor, just fine tuning, going step by step, making sure that everything matches based on their experience. But at some point, they all gonna fade. We all gonna fade, and then their roles are gonna be run by AI.
I,
It's sad.
yeah,
Well,
yeah. Go ahead,
I
John.
I I I think that there's still gonna be that human element, right? And let me ask this question: would you trust AI? Let's just say you had fully automated AI to monitor nuclear stockpiles, to
Mm,
monitor it, to, if needed, initiate them. I don't think we as a society would ever feel comfortable enough to allow AI to literally be the decider on when to push the button or even be near that button. However, I do believe AI will potentially take over some roles. Like, case in point, as we all know, that the 2020 COVID pandemic, for some of you guys, I don't know if you guys have kids or not, when the kids were at the house, where were the teachers, right? We're at a point realistically, and I might rub some people the wrong way, but AI could essentially do what a teacher is doing. You know, it when my kids were at the house, they literally did all their work online. The work was there. They just looked at videos, no teacher element whatsoever. So, what can a teacher do that AI can't do?
I think that's a
Right.
fair
So
point.
no, yeah, no. It's a lot, because AI is what we want to say is structured, right? So if you get if you get an AI robot online, right, and you get a teacher that's a student that's being bad, a kid, hey, look, I need you to go sit down, this and that, and the kids understand that they're listening to a robot, right? you, you know, Psychologically, they're going to be like, okay, whatever. And what can the robot do to discipline them? So that's the human side of it. So there's a lot of things that, unless the robot is there in the room with the kid, the kid's falling asleep, just think about it, you know. So you still need that, to me, that human element. And yes, and they can replace them, far as the what they're teaching them, right? So yeah, they can keep pace with that. But if when we went to school, I had to be disciplined, right? I had to be, hey, look, you go sit down, you go to the principal's office. So how do you add that into AI?
Well, let's look at it from this perspective. Let's cut school. Let's say school.
Right,
Let's say going to
right,
school for. Let's say going physically to school is no longer a thing. We go
right,
back to what we did in 2020, where kids have, because
right,
kids all have laptops at this point. They're
right.
all issued school
Yes,
laptops,
yes,
and from there they have an AI program that is basically teaching them the lessons, whether it's at their own pace, whether it's at a
right,
scheduled pace, and
right,
from there you put the responsibility of the behavior on the child to the parent. Because when we look at this current society with school as it is, and I know we're going a little bit off topic,
right.
parents have a fear of school shootings. Parents have a fear that, okay,
Yeah,
I raised my kids right, but this parent who probably didn't raise their kid at all has this disruptive parent, or has this disruptive child that's impacting my child's education.
right,
So if
right,
we're talking about cutting costs, let's say, okay, we're no longer going to implement physical school. We're going to strictly have the kids have a laptop with an
right,
artificial intelligence program that teaches them the
right,
lessons. And now we're
right.
putting that responsibility of the behavior of the child back on the parent.
Yeah, yeah, that's a part of it. But let's say if I'm in STEM, right? I'm doing robotics, right? But I don't want to get in the weeds on this, but it's, you just have to weigh it. Do you want your kid to be? It's basically your kid learning from the University of YouTube, right now. It's so much content on there. That's how kids are being taught now.
They've
And
already, but they've already published studies that show that kids today compared to 20 or 30 years ago,
yeah,
they're not learning as they should. They have all
right,
the technology in the
yeah,
world, but
right, right, right,
their
right,
test scores are plummeting.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
I want to address a point real quick, and then but before I do that, I want to talk about Jonathan. You talk about nuclear codes, nuclear. You talk about nuclear, but before we do that, Brad, what's going on, brother? How you doing today?
Hey, pretty good, man. It's
Hey,
good to be here.
hey, quick intro about yourself, man. So the panel can get to know you real quick.
Sure. So my like 10-second pitch is guy out of the Midwest that got fortunate, landed in the cybersecurity space, been working there, and worked with Ricky back in the day, and here we are.
Let me tell you something about Brad, that some of the story. So one day I was driving my back in 2003, I was in
11 or
Iraq.
12.
No, no, it's a longer story. So in 2003, I'm in Iraq, in a little patrol, little convoy, and then we got blown up, whatever, Sure, they say you to the hospital, they give you a purple heart, you're good to go. But then nothing happened. Nothing happened. To me after the next day you're back on they give you quarter for 3 days and then you go back to you do your you go MSR Tampa up and down. Anyway, so 2015 or 16, we're hanging out. Yeah, it's right there, 15, 16. It was, yeah, I got there at 13, 14, 15. Yeah, yeah. So one day I'm driving, my vehicle, and then I sneeze. And when I sneeze, I black the fuck out. I blacked out. And then, like in a second, I opened my eyes and I was right in the same Humvee. Like, I'm not, how can I explain this? I was in real life. It was like so vivid. So I can smell the sweat out of my chin strap. It was crazy, right? So then I open, like, close my eyes, and I open my eyes and I'm back on the truck. I am stepping on the brakes like an MF, but my vision is tilted to the side, crazy. So I know that my head's straight because I can see myself in the mirror, and I push my head back to the this is a topic that we need to talk. It's called TBI, that definitely affects many veterans. Okay, and we're not treated. Uh, I'm pressing my head against the headrest of my car, but the whole thing is tilted to the left. So what I did, I moved my head to the right to make my vision look straight. And then little to little, I was right there in front of 201st in JBLM, right? Right in front of my parking, going to the unit. I don't know how I parked because that was a Dodge Ram 3500, a white one that I used to have. That's when I had the boat. I parked that thing and then I crawl my ass across the parking lot. I curved it, and then I saw Kramer coming out of that building, and I was like, "Bro, take me to the hospital." And he took me to the hospital, man. That means
Hey, man, it sounds like
I almost forgot
abduction
about
to
that,
me.
dude.
Hey, Rick, it
I
sounds
forgot
like you
about
was
that.
abducted.
man,
You know,
it was
yeah,
crazy. No, they take me to the Seco Bay. I'm over there. Within like half an hour, everything went back to normal, and then they start doing a bunch of
I thought
MRIs,
you was having some kind of cardiac arrest.
bro.
Like I thought you was about to flatline, or you've been running, you worked out too hard at the gym. Is like, bro, is like, mm.
It was crazy. It was so crazy. But yeah, that man right there saved my life. Saved my life, man. Because I don't know what I will do, man. If I didn't find you on the way out of that building, I don't know if I really. But anyway, I want to get back to Jonathan. Jonathan, you talk about the AI. Are we gonna trust AI to nuclear, any type of nuclear devices? You guys know what the dead hand is, right? Of Russia, dead hand. Yeah, dead hand means that if so in Russia, during the Cold War, they put some sensors all over and this is general knowledge because I don't know nothing about this. They put a bunch of sensors all over the place, right? They put a bunch of sensors in Russia to detect if Russia was being attacked by any other nation, country, neighbor, whatever, with another nuclear device, right? So what happened is that what Russia will see is and that this is why it's called dead hand. You attack Russia with a nuclear bomb, it hits over there. The sensor detects it's a nuclear explosion. Is gonna send a message to their headquarters. So if nobody at headquarters say no, we are tracking the missile. It's being
Rick, while you're freezing, have any of you guys seen the Netflix movie House of Dynamite?
no.
Oh, y'all haven't seen
Yeah.
that? Check that out.
Yeah.
It's
So let me tell you
yeah.
something real quick. So what happened is if nobody at the headquarters in Russia says, oh, we've been tracking the missile, everything is good to go. We talk to the U.S. It's not the U.S. It's not China. what's going to, if that dead hand system doesn't receive a signal back of Russian people saying we are in control, what happened? All the nuclear heads in Russia will go to the air. Every single one of them. And they will point to different locations in the world. You guys knew that? So when we're talking about AI, I really think that every country is using AI to identify the places where they need to bomb other countries without activating these dead hands. Which I think I'm not an expert, but I think that the U.S. has the same technology. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't know, but look at that movie on Netflix, right? And I don't know what arenas y'all guys worked in, but this is speaking to what you're talking about. I think a nuclear weapon was launched towards United States. We uh we shot an interceptor and it missed, and this will explain the AI versus the human element. And so a lot of guys that was associated with the military was upset about this movie. Um, and I can tell you, I've been in some of these places, and it looked real to me. It felt real, and I was like, "Whoa!" I've been in NORAD, right? I worked in NORAD. I've been in, the Space Command, right? Some of these areas, and this is an exact replica of what you would see and hear inside a yeah, and I was kind of shocked at that.
That's a
I
little
mean,
alarming. It's an
yeah,
exact
yeah. I
replica.
mean, and this is I mean, this movie just came out maybe a month and a half ago, so it's not an old movie. Um, and this, you know, and the context of the movie, it shows the Secretary of Defense, shows the president, it shows it from these different perspectives.
Than hearing other people's stories.
Um, yeah,
Hey,
it's
we're back. We're
interesting.
back, guys. We're back. We're back.
Okay.
You're probably gonna see either a delay or something on the stream, but the Riverside went down for a second and I'm back. Is everybody hearing me right? Good.
Yeah,
I heard.
yeah.
Okay, I heard that you say have a delay. Let me take a quick look here. So perfect, perfect. Are we done with the AI topic, or there's anything else that we want to
Yeah.
talk about?
Well, I'll say this last part. Um, the Iron Dome and C-ramp systems, I think, are the closest the military will engage weapon system wise with AI, because those are at least using targeting and tracking systems. That's
Well,
my
well,
take.
well, did it fail, or did it operate as advertised? The Iron Dome, or whatever it is.
You're, is
So
anybody
you
else hearing
talking about
echoing?
the one in
I'm
Israel,
hearing
right?
bad echoes right now.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't even
bad.
hear anything anymore.
I'm hearing you guys pretty good. Are you guys hearing about echo or something over there?
Yeah, real bad. Yeah.
Look, let me take a quick look. Everybody good? Pro 2, changing the audio. Can you hear me, guys? Can
Okay,
you
that's better.
I'm sorry, y'all. Didn't mean to
Yeah.
interrupt.
A
can you hear
little
me
bit
now?
better.
Oh, it was you, Mike?
Yeah, I didn't have any audio all of a sudden.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so those are some of the quirks that you have to deal when you're doing this kind of podcasting thing. It just
It's
happens
all
like
good.
back and forward. All good, guys. So, what you were saying about the Iron Dome, Jay?
Yeah, so obviously, now that the conflict in Israel between in Israel or IDF forces as well as the Hamas, they were just launching missiles over to Israel, and of course, their Iron Dome system was the one that was being utilized to intercept a lot of those missiles. Which, again, even though it's a targeting system, I mean, essentially, it is utilizing AI because it's not a human element that's watching these missiles come and hit a certain point. It's a targeting system that's tracking the direction of said missile and launching a missile back to basically counteract that. And then, of course, if you've ever deployed, I'm sure some of you've heard this, you've seen the C-rams, right? Whenever bases are getting targeted, the C-rams super loud and just shoots off a bunch
Yeah.
of uh, bullets or whatever the case is to basically kill off those incoming missiles. So I mean, we do have, I would say, some form of AI incorporated in those in a defense system. But as
Right.
far as if we're looking at it from an offensive standpoint, like, hey, we're going to trust AI to know when to launch missiles at this threat group here, that I think there's got to be a human element.
So let me ask you this. So when they they knew how to defeat it, right? In some at some point. So when they shot the slower non ballistic rockets or whatever they were shooting, they was able to knock those down, right? Then they shot 3 series of rockets, types of rockets at Israel. So they shot down the slower moving ones, right? With the help of some people, right? Other countries. So then they mixed them up, right? They did the slower ones with the hypersonic or whatever. Hypersonic got through, right? So then they shot the straight hypersonic that got all the way through. Now, if that was AI, now so from wherever they were shooting them from to the time it hit Israel, the slower ones you had 30 minutes, right? The other quicker rockets you had maybe 15 minutes. With the hypersonic, you had 5 minutes. And then they were shooting them in different. So did it jam up the the Iron Dome, and so some of them got through. Now, I I would say AI worked, but I just didn't trust the information that I was getting about they shot down 80-90% of those rockets, and I just don't believe that. I think a lot more got in, and yeah, Israel won the propaganda war. I mean, and as far as saying, okay, we shot everything down, but that always surprised me with with Israel. But I will tell you this, and this is as far as I'm gonna go with this. Um, Within the Air Force gifted um, our unit a F-35 for cyber, and that's far as I'm gonna go with that.
Hey,
They
Louis, let me
gifted
tell
us.
you something. You make good points right
Right,
there, right?
right,
You
right.
make good points right there. But let me tell you something, brother.
Yeah,
There's you're saying that you don't trust AI like you should trust a human. But let's take a look at what's
right.
happening in the Ukraine right now. Okay,
Yeah,
so the
yeah.
Ukraine is being attacked by Russians
Right,
with drones who are not
right,
controlled by I have a drone somewhere with a control remote. Okay, these
right,
drones
right,
are
right.
being tethered. with a braided fiber optic cable line,
Right.
right? So
Right.
there's no way that you can say no signals, no jamming session, no nothing. That thing
Right.
is plugged with 3, 4, 5 miles of
Yeah,
fiber
explosive.
cable
Yeah.
and
You
explosive.
mean
So
okay?
so do you trust more that guy with a shotgun, buck, with an M16 shooting at that drone, or do you trust AI to like a C RAM to take down those
No.
drones? Is
No.
I would say as long as you got a human in the loop, man, you're good. But to your point, human in the loop and the
Right.
precision of AI is going to be a lot more accurate than
Right.
Billy Bob over here with the shotgun.
Right. Right. Right.
That's a fair point.
As
You
long as
know.
it's trained,
Yeah.
you got to
Right.
train that stuff too.
Right. So I came up in aviation, right? I don't know if you knew that, Rick, but I
Yeah.
did avionics, right? So I understand about the quadrants and and how you can confuse a computer, right? But the thing is that the technology now, everything is happening way quicker, and so if you shoot, let's say, four hypersonic missiles in all four quadrants at the same time, what is AI or any other computer going to do? Because it has to make a decision, and that was my point going earlier with the
the
Tesla.
vehicle? Yeah.
If it had to make a decision of going destroying itself or hitting a human, I think it would hit the human, and kill a human versus destroying itself
You're
as a
getting into
AI
some
component.
interesting weeds
Yeah,
because now you're talking ethics, and I don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
if AI can be ethical.
Sentient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we got to program it to. Is it more beneficial for it to save itself or to kill a human? Um,
Right. That's the
but that
dilemma.
was earlier.
That's the
But
dilemma, right?
in
That's where all these
that, yeah.
conspiracy theories are coming from.
No, but I mean it's real. I mean, and I think we're going to get to that point though. But
Yeah.
me, I think we all got the same technology. It's nothing new under the sun. Um,
No.
yeah, it's and I think we still, if we fight the proxy wars, we still share space stations. We still share a lot of things that we as civilians or ex-military don't even think about.
Okay.
So, is it really conducive to have a nuclear war? I mean,
Yeah.
under any circumstances.
Well, the good thing that we have talking about wars, is that the
Right.
president, since we got this President Donald J. Trump,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, the amount of conflicts that we've been facing in the world are decreasing. And I had to throw that out there. I had to throw that out
Right.
there. But I mean, so what?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. You know.
We might be adding one on here for
Yeah.
Venezuela pretty quick.
Oh,
Yeah.
but do you think that Venezuela is gonna be that this?
I don't know. I'm being
Yeah.
kind of silly there, but I mean, they certainly are practicing, like we were talking about, Rick, a couple days ago, like whatever the justification is for these drug boats. And I'm not trying to get off AI here. I don't mean to
Yeah.
be,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, the drug boat thing is we're getting a lot of target practice on
Well,
that
I talked to Louis, and
from a military
Louis say. You know
standpoint.
what Louis say? He said that
Yeah.
those were civilians, fishermen.
Yeah.
That's what
I
he said.
think so. I mean, because if you look at the route of drugs coming in to United States, I mean, on a boat like that, I mean, you have to be realistic. I mean, the boat has to make 1,000 stops along the way, and it's just not landmass wise. It's just not conducive to send drugs that way. You could send it by plane or whatever, but um, yeah, I think it's going to be a proxy
Yeah.
war in Venezuela for that oil. So we see the front side now. Now you got to ask yourself, why did America send so much weaponry or military force. And we only see the front of Venezuela, but on the backside of Venezuela, you have Russia and China. So that's why we needed that, and they're not talking about that. So they're fighting
Well,
for that oil. Yeah, period.
and nobody wants to send that stuff up through logistically through the
Y-
Darien Gap. Like that
Yeah,
don't even make sense.
right, right.
Easiest or least passive resistance at that point.
Yeah. So I just Trump just made a and I don't know if this is a prelude to send ICE in to Colorado, but he just said something about Governor Polis, that he's a weak governor, that the drug organization that's associated with Venezuela has taken over Colorado, and so I don't know if that's his way of setting up for ICE to come into to Denver as a force, as a military force. Um, so and they have no so since they're under the Department of Homeland Security, there's no checks and balances for ICE, none. And look that up, Rick.
So,
Yeah.
Louis, I don't want to say that I travel a lot, but I travel a little
Right,
bit, right?
right,
You
yeah,
know, Denver, man. Denver is Denver. Denver
yeah.
is not. I don't go. I
But
don't go. I will not go if I have to go if I gotta go to Denver, stay in a hotel. Guess where I'm staying? At the hotel. I am not
oh
going.
no, no, no. Denver is no. Denver is
That's
a
the capital.
beautiful. It's one of the
Everything is legal
safest
over there.
cities. It's one of the safest major cities
It's
Everything
not
is
that we
everything is
got.
Portland.
legal over there, man. Every
Huh?
single type of drug. You can go any corner. You go from drug, liquor store, liquor store, drugstore, gas station.
Hey, hey, I'm more worried about going to Texas than I am Denver, right?
Why? Why?
What?
I'm just because you got the same element. I mean, you got the cartels in there. I mean,
Thank
you
God
got
you're not going to Portland, man.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, but so
Hey, I'm
Rick,
talking from experience.
but I mean it's in every city. So that's
Yeah,
not a
it
city
is.
problem. That's an
No.
American problem. That the
Yeah.
drugs are in there like that. That's
Well, I would say it depends on the scope, right?
right,
What's the scope of the city, and how is
right.
that city or that region being
Yeah.
managed and governed?
Well, any major city has a drug problem, a homeless problem, uh, uh, a financial problem. I mean, it's just how we're being governed, how the country is being ran.
Yeah.
It's you know,
Yeah.
and you need government intervention because it- Musk don't have enough money to solve it. None of these billionaires have enough money to solve it. I mean, you put all those billions together, which you may have maybe 2 trillion, and
Yeah.
we spending that every other year. I mean, and then they're broke.
you say billionaire. So what do you mean by that?
Yeah, yeah. I'm saying all the billionaires, you put all their money together,
Why
they
why
may have
why
they
why
they
is
may
that a billionaire
have
problem?
no, but I'm saying they can't even solve the societal problem with all the money that they have, right? So they have influence, but it's not to solve any problems. Um, it's to make more money. So the government has to get involved.
Well, guys, we got an
Yeah.
anybody any others on these ones? Any alibis?
Okay, yeah, we can move
Man,
on.
I think we're good.
Good. Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's just
here's
there's
I,
the
I
no.
think if
question
I
for
hit
you.
that button, we might
When
go
we're
a
talking
different
about
direction in this
the
podcast.
We're not going to solve it tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
No.
yeah,
yeah. Ever.
Are we good? Okay. So next topic. This is our first podcast with a new crew. Okay. By the way, give me a second. I need you to look at the camera. Look at the camera for a second. Look at the camera. Three, two, one. There we go. Perfect. 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 Good job. You guys are amazing. We just made it to next week cover next week thumbnail for YouTube. So but anyway, since this one is our second podcast here, guys, the second topic I want to talk to is it's about veterans, okay? Veterans and civilians, okay? Because this can apply to civilians as well, okay? And it's a transition to civilian life, and how will this transfer when it comes to a civilian, okay? It's like just transitioning. In our case, we go from being a military individual to become a non-military individual. In the civilian sector, it could be that you work one day for Boeing, and the next job that you have is for you work for Boeing for 20 years, and now you want to work at Home Depot doing something totally different. You trade your skills, you bring your skills with you into the new position, to the new job, but it's totally different. It's a brand new canvas. You don't understand what's happening. And I want to talk to this because it is very tough for military individuals and civilians to go from one role or from one position to another, and this can affect different areas like mental health, which is we all seen it. I've seen it. Transitioning from one career to another, it can affect employment. Once you leave your Boeing or the military, it might take some time for individuals to find a job. Some others don't, but the majority of the individuals in the military, they have a hard time, finding new jobs. Um, and then the financial stability. We don't in the military. You don't make all the money in the world, but it's a steady paycheck. And then when you combine your salary and your benefits and the security and the people around you, it comes to something. In the civilian sector, once you work for Boeing for 20 years, you reach X level, and then Boeing is laying off a bunch of people because of the F-47 or the H-49 got sent to another company, Raytheon or Lockheed, whatever the case may be, and now you have to go to find another job. You got laid off. You're working at Home Depot now. Not making, the crazy one I used to making some money enough to survive, but it's kind of difficult. You don't have the same flexibility, the same relaxedness of being at Boeing. That's an example. So I like to talk about this. How transitioning from the military or anywhere into another role into the civilian life can affect people. Can you share your own experience? Uh, I can definitely share my own experience, very quick, and then it's gonna be very odd. Okay, I left the military. I worked different jobs. When I joined the military, I was a finance guy. Jesus Christ, for whatever reason. Then I went to be in transportation. Oh, they sent me to Fort Bragg. God, why? And then I transitioned to be an instructor, and then I became a cybersecurity guy, 25 Delta. Well, 25 Bravo and then 25 Delta. It's IT. It was basic stuff. Okay, you guys know. You guys know. And then when I transfer my experience, my and what I have with me in my toolbox into the civilian job, I left the military in December 12th of 2018, and then on January I was working for some company because and the guy during my interview, he don't even ask me anything about IT. He just like, hey, how many certs you got? Okay, how long you been in the military? Okay, and we talk about what he was saying. Oh, he told me that he was a wedding photographer. That was his sidekick job. And then we start talking about lenses because I told him, oh, I like YouTube, I like this camera, da, da, da. And then that was my interview. Okay, so Joe Fernando, wherever you at, that was good, bro. Yeah, that was my experience in my life, but I seen it from by going to the I because I used to live in Arizona, in Vail, Arizona. I used to go to the veteran whatever it was. Jesus Christ, how you call this place? It's not the Veteran of Foreign Wars. It's the other.
American Legion.
I went to American Legion, yes, and they have like a bar, very cheap beer in the afternoons, right? And drinks like for 250. And I used to talk to all these veterans, and they're like, "Yeah, I haven't worked out in 6 years. I haven't found a job. I'm living out of my BA disability and my pension." And I'm looking at these guys like, "What the fuck? What happened here?" Like it is luck, or it's a combination of things. I want to get your take on this, guys.
Yeah, man. I mean, shoot, I'll shoot. I'll be the first one in the hoop. Uh, you kind of know my story, at least on the back end, Rick, just because we were in that unit and that was my last unit on active duty. And what I saw was a lot of the senior leadership was taking like 2 years to do their exit strategy to you know, specifically you guys that were getting ready for retirement. So like, you know what? I'm going to do that. But the problem was at that time, and Rick knows, like I was going through some dark days. Like these days, like both, I got promoted, in the system as a 25 Bravo. I came off as an 88 Mike prior to that, and it went from a unit where I was the NCO of the year, could do no wrong. They supported me, did all that stuff. Transitioned into another unit, and it was like a frat party, and not no lies. And I'm not going to say names here because there's people out there we
Yeah,
both
let's not say
know.
that.
But
JBLN,
and
JBLN, where you at?
oh man, and there's a whole sordid story that goes with it. But during that time frame, when it got time, I was like, okay, here's the checklist that they go by. I'm going to do this, and they had this. I had a degree and never went to OCS or anything like that. So I had that degree when I came back to active duty in '06, and so here I am. I'm like, well, what am I going to do? I have no idea what I want to do. I'm interested in technology, and I wasn't sure what technology is getting ready to do, but I knew 25 Delta was a thing, and that interested me. I was like, okay, the cybersecurity stuff, but I'm on the back end of my career. There's no way that I'm going to do this. I came out of schoolhouse without any certs, so I was one of those guys. And so I applied for the Chamber of Commerce Hiring Our Heroes corporate fellowship. I got in. I had like 5 mock interviews with Fortune 500 companies like UPS, a mom and pop internet cybersecurity company out of Tacoma, Washington, uh, Seattle Healthcare Alliance, all these big names that are in the Pacific Northwest. And so I did all those and I got 2 that were interested. And I chose the cybersecurity shop there in Tacoma, which has now been rebranded to Infoblox. They were called Internet Identity at the time. And basically, what they did was validate websites for Fortune 500 companies. And it was a Marine Corps veteran that started um, that company. And so I got it was weird. It was like walking into like any corporate tech shop, and I was like, nobody's telling me what to do. They're like, here's your queue. You go and validate these websites. We want you to click and download everything. And I think I got like 3 to 4 months into that. It was like a 5 month long program. And I found a data file on the back end of a website that had all this corporate data, credit card data, PHI, PII, you name it. And so I turned that in to get it escalated. That was like one of the highlights. I was like, this is awesome. And then beyond that, seeing the way cross-site scripting was working and all this other stuff where hackers were defacing and defrauding other companies, NGOs, church websites, WordPress sites, all the classic stuff. And that, I don't know, it invigorated me to see what more was out there. And so I got out of the Army and I stayed in the Guard for a couple of years and I took my medical retirement and did a couple contracts. One was a DoD contract, and I landed over at Nike, and I was just the turbojets just took off after that, and that was right around COVID. Got my contract renewed like 3 times, and then landed a couple other spots doing cybersecurity work. So I was fortunate, and a lot of it. I know Ricky has mentioned this in the past about blind hiring. There was some of that going on, but I think the resume also speaks to that. But you have to tailor that stuff the way it's supposed to be. You can still get hired without certifications. However, I will say certifications is the icing on the cake. It's the cream of the crop. And every time I go to these to apply for something, I hear Ricky's voice in the back of my head being like, bro, you got to get this done, man. You got to get
Get
this
that
done.
done.
And he's right. I do. And so I'm looking into that a little bit more. because especially now with the market being the way it is, they're looking a lot more seriously at people. But yeah, I'm kind of with you, Rick. Like I've seen other places like, man, I'm, living off my pension doing X, Y, and Z, and it's like I can't do that. I'm too motivated. I got a family to support, and for me, I maybe pride gets in the way, but I just want to be the best representation of myself and be valuable somewhere.
Let me tell you something, Kramer. And then I want all you guys, because most of you guys, all of us, we are into the cybersecurity field, but remember these four letters, and it's called CMMC. Okay, CMMC. It's cybersecurity maturity model certification. Okay, CMMC. The what you need to know about CMMC? Nothing but the NIST 800-171. Okay, and the governing agency of CMMC is called C3PAO. Okay, C3PAO. The government the government wants every single entity, every single organization who process CUI to be accredited and validated at the CMMC level. Okay, look into that. Look into that. Look into that. I've been for many years. I've been looking for like the next seed, the next seed, the next seed, the next seed. And this right here is amazing. If you have any type of disability, okay, as a veteran, and you get your LLC through your state, and you get your veterans the civil veteran registration
Preference. Oh,
reference, right, through the VA, you can apply to get a federal contracting, not job, but contract, where you provide CMMC audits if you are an auditor, or you help companies prepare for CMMC audits. Uh, and right now, this is, I know AI is a thing, but if you're thinking about the next 20, 25, 30 years, CMMC is where the money's at. Okay? Remember that. I'm going to make another video on it. I'll probably bring it up to you guys. But I mean, it's CMMC, guys. If I can recommend something to you guys right now, CMMC. You don't want to be an auditor, but you want to be an assessor where you help other companies to pass these audits. And an audit on IT isn't that difficult. You just go to the checklist, the regulation, the audits, and you're good to go. But yeah, that's what I got for you guys. Uh, who else want to go in next? How were you able to transfer from the military to the civilian sector, and did you have any issues that people can relate with you?
I would just say you got to grind it out too, man. You can't stop in that one. You got to keep going, and because there was days like when you get those initial contracts or whatever, whether it's DoD, and getting that certain base level of experience, you do have to put in the work. So it wasn't like it was a give me.
Well, we're here, Jonathan. What about you? I mean, are you in the same boat? You want to share your experience with us? What do you think? Or are you
Yeah.
are you are you still
So
working for the CIA or the FBI? Tell me one of the. I'm
nah.
joking. I'm joking.
So I specifically work with the NNSA, National Nuclear Security Administration, which
Oh,
is falls under DOE. But before I got to that, um, you know, I was primarily attached to combat units, and so being an intel analyst, I was always around, combat engineers, infantry. So they didn't really, my units didn't tailor a lot of my SFL TAP per se. They didn't. I was completely ignorant to the idea of the contracting world. because again, all I was doing was going to the field, doing S2 related duties and whatnot. So I, when I got out, my goal was to go to school, like some people do. I used my GI Bill, get my degree. But while I was waiting for school to start, I was doing a side job, which was essentially Uber. I was a flower courier, honestly. So when you see guys who go on to 1-800 flowers and stuff like that, and they're dropping off flowers at your house, that's what I used to do prior to what I'm currently doing. And one day I was delivering flowers to this retired full bird colonel, and he answered the door, and I just so happened to be wearing my military shirt. And, he started asking questions, and he said, well, hey, what did you do in the military? And I told him I was an intel analyst. And he looked so shocked because he was just basically like, hey, no offense, but why aren't you doing, intel work for the three-letter agencies? And I said, well, I don't have my degree yet. And I know that's one of the stipulations that a lot of them require. And that's when he introduced me to the concept of DoD contracting, which doesn't require a degree. And so he gave me a point of contact. I contacted them. And my first DoD contract position that I held was FMV analyst. And so I moved all the way to Augusta, Georgia to do FMV analyst work, which I had never done before, but they swore up and down that it'd be easy to do. It was an experience. Uh, Definitely wouldn't do it again. Not a fan of Panama shift. So I give credit to a lot of police officers that worked that. Uh, I did that for a while, and then eventually contract opened up on the other side of the base, which was back in my field of intel. And so I worked for the 513th, and I worked in the fusion cell. And I was primarily the senior intelligence analyst for the AFPAC-CAS region, which was Afghanistan, Pakistan, and the five Central Asian states.
Wow.
Um, so I saw a lot of reporting. Of course, as you guys know, that you had to work on because I was coordinating with 101st, 82nd, those guys. So I did that for a while, but then I began to realize, as interesting as reading, the stuff that the common everyday man can't read because of clearance purposes, I realized that my job as an intel analyst was starting to kind of be impacted due to AI. That's when I started realizing, like, here I am as an intelligence analyst gathering reports. Well, here the military is trying to incorporate data scientists who are utilizing programs such as Gotham that's pulling reports a lot quicker than, of course, a human can. So I kind of saw the writing on the wall. And so I decided to smarten up and knock out my degrees, get a couple of Intel certs. And what I was doing was at the time, in addition to being an Intel analyst, I also worked as a SOC analyst, which I would highly recommend anybody who's trying to go into cybersecurity. It's being a tier one SOC analyst. It's probably one of the easiest cyber jobs you can do, and it allows you to learn about all the types of attacks and things like that. And so I did that for a bit, and then I ultimately made the decision to jump to DOE, Department of Energy, under the NNSA. And as of right now, I am currently the senior risk analyst for NNSA. And all I can say is honestly, get as much information as you can. Always stay with credentials, always try to get the next cert. And that's what I've been doing for the last several years.
That's tremendous, man. Finding your how you call it, because a veteran was the person that you met while you were delivering flowers. He was a veteran as well.
Yeah, he was a retired full bird colonel out
Yeah.
the Air Force.
You see, people just people that wants. That's what I love about the military. It doesn't matter every interaction that I have with military people on the veteran side, it's always been like that. It's always been great. You always, and we like to talk a lot too. If you find somebody on your door, you want to, say, come over here, let's talk. But that's nice because I mean, look at the how much Jonathan benefited from that one conversation, from that 10-second pitch. That's amazing. Props to that guy, by the way. Yeah,
Yeah.
we got on the chat prideful bet. Let me see what we got. Oh, let me give you some. Let me. Yeah, he was late. You were late. You were late, bro. Late. You're muted. You're muted.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna say nothing. I showed up late. I'm not even gonna say nothing.
How's it going, brother? How you doing?
Everything good, man. Just busy with the kids and all that stuff. So
Okay. So yeah, we talk a couple topics today. We talk AI. Now we're talking about this thing. Anybody else wants to share their experience? Louis, you have told your story a couple of times on the show. What do you think? You want to give
Uh,
another round?
yeah. I did. I don't know. For me, it was a little different. When I first thought about joining the military, I went in, took the test. So I had this guy come up and says, "Hey, man, you're gonna make a great cook, right? The chef. He was trying to sell this. Look, man, you be cooking for the generals. You be cooking. So I said, "Well, hey, look, man, I already know how to cook, right? So, so that's out of the question." So I said, "Well, if that's all you can offer me, then thank you. I'll see you later." Then the other guy comes in and he says, "No, let me." Well, he didn't quite fully explain the whole situation to you. This is all the stuff that you qualify for, right? And I said, "Okay." So he said the best job on this list is avionics, right? Working on helicopters. And I said, "Well, look, man, I don't know nothing about helicopters." So he poked me in the chest and said, "You're gonna learn like everybody else, right?" And then the door shut behind me. Bang. So I was in it, right? um, so I got through that. At the end, I say in the eighth year, I knew I wanted to get out. So I started educating myself. I went and got my FCC license, which back then was a big thing. So I was working around civilian contractors, and they found a school and said, "All right, Lewis, we want you to go." So this school was maybe an hour and a half away on the other side, the west side of Colorado, and I had to drive there every Saturday, I think, for 3 months. And so I got my FCC license. Got out. I didn't actually work on the aircraft. I got in to, let me say, the IT field, right? So I just stumbled into that, working something called Red Switch, if you ever heard of that. Red Switch is the secure comms for the Air Force, well, for the overall war fighter, right? So I got in that was a struggle because I went from more of a high end technical job, but more mechanical based, right? There's a lot of technologies and they're more calm electronics. Then I got into IT, which was, I wasn't prepared cert wise, anything like that, security plus, you needed that as a baseline cert. So got that, went to college, got my degree, and I got into management. So I didn't like management so much, right? And I was working for an older company called ITT, if you ever heard of that. So they
Yep.
was a pretty big company back in the day. So I got into management, and so we managed the Red Switch sites all around the world, right? So I did that, got out of that. Then I switched into engineering. So I was working the Eglin radar site. So if you that's down in Florida. So we actually, I was a part of a team, research and development, where we actually redesigned that radar, right? And then once we redesigned it, then I switched over to sustainment, and we had to sustain, uh, you know, the radar. So Did that. Then I started working, switched over for the Air Force Satellite Network and the AFSCN. And
Are you reading
so
straight from your ERB or what?
no. I'm just no. This is no. Hey, listen. I was a contractor, right? No, all this was as a contractor, and so the level of expertise, professionalism, hard work, just being flexible, you know. So I'm leading up to something too, Rick. So then went and did that, moved around a little bit, did some other jobs. So now my current job is I'm a test engineer for the cybersecurity for the Air Force Satellite Network. So that is my network, right? So I'm responsible for that. Um, and and it's funny how all roads lead back to Rome. Um, I worked there as an engineer, I understood the infrastructure, and now I'm over a bunch of guys. I couldn't be over them from the engineering standpoint because some guys been there forever, but I am over them from a cybersecurity standpoint. And so that's what I'm currently doing today. But it, it uh, it's not an easy road. It is a long road, but if you stay on it, it's worth it. Um, so if I can help anybody, you know, gather any information or give some insight, you know, by all means, I'll do that. So that's where I'm at today. So
Hey, Prideful Bet. How about you, brother? Because you are you
Hey
were
man.
you went from the
Yeah.
military to what you were doing. Now you're doing this other thing that brings you back. You want to share that?
Hey, I'm just staying alive. That's all I'm doing. That's really all I'm doing.
Now you doing much
I'm just
better
staying
than that.
alive. No, man, I got 4 children. Everybody's been sick. It's like a rotational sick house in here. So, and then it's the holidays coming up. Oh Lord. But I mean, basically, I mean, hey, look, I haven't done any of the stuff you guys have done. I was a gun bunny. So all I did was Cav Scout time. After Cav Scout, I reclassed to an investigator. Did a little investigations. A little slight work, and then got out the military and worked for the FDA, the Food Drugs Administration. And then now I'm trying to do this. Content create, do some podcasting, get some education under my belt at the same time. But the biggest thing that I emphasize, I mean, I love what you guys do with your career, but I'm really focused on my children. They missed a lot of time, me being away, um, missing birthdays, everything. Everyone's been in the military. So uh, they're getting older, they're high school ages. And so, I have to be very involved. So that's what I'm focusing on now. After that, then I'll focus on my life and go more vacationing out. But right now, it's all family and love right now for me.
Gotta be intentional, brother.
Yeah, intentional. That's a good
I'm
one. Yeah,
happy to hear that. That's awesome.
Hey,
yeah,
BC,
yeah.
definitely BC, because I was not, I went to therapy, did the 30 days thing, where you have to stay in house and you have to work your problems out. And I realized that, I got time, but my children don't. So I have to be in their life. I can't miss all these things anymore. I have to be intentional. I have to be, purposeful. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm willing to do that. My wife and I, we've been married for 17 years, thank God, you know, and we have 4 children. So that's what I'm doing, y'all. I'm listening to you, beautiful folk.
17 years. That's a good one, man.
amen. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I was a knucklehead too. In my prior life. Now I'm still a knucklehead, but not as knucklehead as before. Having an amazing spouse is the most important
Talk
thing
about it, Rick. Hey,
in our
talk about it.
life.
That's what we need to focus on. We need to get the spouses out here.
It's the most important thing in your life.
Hey, good luck with that,
bro.
Good luck.
You
That's
never,
no lie.
man.
That's the most important decision you can make in your life.
Yeah. Oh man, you telling me, man.
Yeah.
So shout outs to the ladies out
That's
there.
facts, bro.
Yeah.
All the ladies out there. Thank you guys are amazing. Yes. God damn.
Shout them out.
Shout out. Yeah, damn it. I'm telling you, because they can ruin your life. They can
Facts.
and not by doing anything negative, by just leaving. You know? I mean, you know how many people have, Rick, I'm like, God damn it, I knew where they were coming. When I was in the military, I know where he's coming. He married that E3 to get the MBH, and now she's gone.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Hey, Staff Sergeant, what's going on? What's going on with your soldier? And I'm like, oh shit, like what's going on with my soldier?
Yeah.
Man, the best thing you
know
can
how many
do.
staff duty incidents I came up that were SIRs that could have been prevented?
Yeah. It's
Hey,
tough.
we can write a book on all that.
Oh yeah, hey, Lewis, you got that right? You can write a book about it.
Yeah.
You're the writer here.
Well, you've been married for 17. You've been married for how long, Rick?
Oh, I've been with my wife since 97, 96, 97, yeah. Right when I started, yeah.
Oh,
And
wow. Rick?
You, Jonathan?
Yeah, I've been married for 17. Yeah.
10 years with my wife, 5 years married.
Okay. And you, BC?
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Coming
How'd
up
you
on
get that?
11.
How'd you work that out?
What? The 10 and 5?
Yeah, how was you able to stay with her for 10? Well, 5 years.
Like dating. So I've known her for 10 years total, but I proposed to her at the 5th year, and that's
what
when
I'm
we got
saying.
married.
So how'd you pull 5 years out without proposing?
Oh, her waiting?
Talk about it.
A lot of promises.
Yeah.
A lot
It's
of
gonna be this year.
promises. Just keeping
Trust
that
me.
carrot. Just keeping that prep carrot on the string until finally she's like,
Right.
"All right, buddy, I've had enough."
Yeah.
We say that to the women, the carrot on the string, but who really got that carrot? Who really was? I'm telling you, a woman, when it comes to relationship,
I'm a simp.
Yeah.
I'm a simp for my wife.
Women got the power, man. I'm telling you. We think we're making no decisions here, zero decisions. I'm telling you, my wife sent me a damn meme on Instagram the other day, and say something like, "Oh, I'm so happy when my husband is whatever. He doesn't know that I have all the answers already planned, something like that." And I'm looking at looking at that thing. I'm busy doing my work, cleaning the hallway, sweeping and mopping, at work. And she sent me that, and I laugh, like, okay, and I close it. And then I keep working, and what I'm doing, I'm helping people carry things to the car, at work. And then that hit me, like, and 30 minutes later, I'm like, shit, she's right. She's been playing my whole life since the beginning. I'm like, God damn it. And I said, then I said to her, yeah, you're so funny, right? You think you're so
She
funny.
conducted a psyops on you, Rick.
Yeah, I'm like, God damn it, man. It's just crazy. Well, guys, I've been waiting for this Trump announcement to come out. It's not coming out. So, I'm going to open the floor. If you guys want to talk about something else, I'm game. We can go all the way till 9 o'clock, but if we're good to go today, we can close. I want to say before anything, I want to say thank you to all you guys for being part of this show. BC, I'm definitely going to put the Chamber of Commerce link, because that can help so many people there. If you have any links that you want me to put on the description of the video, please let me know and I send them. So BC and Jonathan, you guys, this is the first time you're here, so thank you so much again. You guys are amazing. Yeah, you guys are amazing.
Thank you for being here.
And I'm looking forward to have more of these conversations, because what we're doing here, and I know, it's kind of, it's kind of getting thing on my channel. But I mean, if you guys want to post these things on your channel, your socials, let me know. We can make that happen. I can send you the copy. And if you want to
Okay.
host your own, like we're gonna be Friday, me and Louis, we're gonna get together. We're probably gonna
Right.
be doing a podcast in in his channel. If you're interested on this, what I talked to you guys about CMMC, I wanna give you a quick rundown of CMMC, guys. Okay, because I think I owe you this. I know you're gonna be talking. I know you're gonna Google CMMC in a minute. Okay, so what is CMMC? It's the Cybersecurity Maturity Model certification. Okay, what is all about CMMC? We're controlling uh, unclassified data, control unclassified information. Okay, um, what are the adversary? Uh, China, Russia, Iran. Okay, the top three, of course. Who we are going to be assisting? Contractors, prime contractors. Okay, so I'm just thinking, just think it this way. Raytheon produced, I don't know, the new machine gun guided with laser, right? But that machine gun has to be machine shop somewhere, right? And that CNC machine that some subcontractor has. We're talking about Raytheon in Arizona, in Tucson. That CNC machine shop in Tempe, and then the other 50 other machine shops that the other 50 businesses that this machine shop owns, they need to be CMMC compliance. This is money, guys. This is money. Uh, C3PAO is the governing agency for this. Look into CMMC, please. Trust me when I remember I told a bunch of you guys to tell you, hey, let's get the CISSP. Nobody listened. Eh. I
Well,
thought,
well, Rick,
hey,
are you saying look into it as a contractor, or are you
as
saying
no, as a
look
business
into it?
owner, you're gonna
Yeah,
be
as a
a
business
business
owner.
owner. Yes,
Okay.
as a business
All right.
owner. Okay. CMMC right now. I mean, they are in Rep 3.0, but all the audits are happening. Once you start looking into it, you'll be like, okay, cool. That's I mean, definitely is going to be a topic on next week. Podcast, and then please send me whatever information you want to discuss next week on the podcast. If you can make it, it would be nice to have you guys here again. But now I turn it back to you guys. Anything you guys wanna talk today? Anything else that we want to add, or are we good to go?
Yeah. I'm good to go. I had a
Y'all
long
gotta
day.
catch me up. Did y'all talk about
We talk about cybersecurity at the beginning
Yeah.
and AI, and how Lewis is complaining that AI is sometimes
Well, no,
you
no,
were
no, no.
complaining,
I'm just,
and you mentioned,
I,
you say Tesla.
yeah, yeah,
I don't know what happened with Tesla and Lewis, but and
yeah.
then
No, no, no. I'm just saying, it's going to come down to that type of algorithm decision making. Where AI is going to have to decide which way to go,
the
right?
let me tell you, Jonathan put a point right here, and I wrote it down. It's it was the how you call it, the fatigue when you get the distance. How you call that? People get
Uh, you talking about the
the
range
range, the
anxiety?
range, the range, the range. People
Yeah,
get range
yeah,
anxiety. Yeah,
yeah,
he was talking about it, and I was like, "But man, where are you? Are you driving how long is your commute? Because these things can do what 300 miles in a
yeah,
charge, you know."
yeah,
And then when he mentioned that, I'm like, me thinking I don't own no electric vehicle, but I'm thinking those things are good for like two at least 300 miles, you know. So when he say that, there's a serious concern on the consumer, you know. They are worried about how long I'll be able to drive this thing before I need to plug it, which is crazy. It's just crazy. Um. So yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
the
did y'all
funny
touch
part
on
is my wife.
um
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, well, go ahead. I want to hear your wife. I want to hear this. Go ahead.
So here's why I say range anxiety is a thing. My wife actually has a leased full electric vehicle. It's an Ionic 6. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, when they say that a vehicle can get 300 miles or 200 miles of charge, those numbers are absolutely inflated because I'm going to tell you variables that can cause that number to absolutely go down. First, AC or heating. It absolutely uses energy, right? Then the speed you're driving. So if you're doing all highway miles, you're not going to get 300 miles on that charge. Weight is also a variable as well. You know, if it's just you in the car, okay, that's fine. But if it's a family of four, a family of five, or whatever, that's also impacting the mileage. So even though it'll show 300 or 200 miles, there's a reason why if you ever decide to rent an electric vehicle, and let's just say, I don't know if I'll use me for example. If I'm driving from South Carolina, Graniteville, South Carolina to Atlanta, which is absolutely under 300 miles, if I type the address where I'm going to in Atlanta, it'll also incorporate a charging station stop because it's not accurate in getting you the mileage that it's claiming. That's where the range anxiety comes into play. Now, if you got a plug-in hybrid, that gives people a little bit more comfort because at least you can use electric as well as gasoline. But there's a reason why if you go and buy an all-electric vehicle, they actually have the highest depreciation value compared to a regular gas vehicle. In fact, they're like 50% depreciated as soon as you drive off the lot. So just food for thought.
There's definitely food for thought. See, I was better than what I was gonna say. I'll
Yeah.
tell you that.
You don't catch me. You don't catch me in those vehicles, and I like I like my vehicles. I got a little couple of toys right here, but the Tesla Plaid, whatever I don't know. The Cybertruck. I just don't know, man. It just doesn't do it for me. It's not about the range. It's about the quietness, the electric. I don't know. I'm old school. Yeah.
Well, and then you
Guys,
aren't
did you
going to
guys
talk
touch on
about
the?
ITOT when it comes to those vehicles either. I worked for Honda for a year, and some of the vulnerabilities that come out. I mean, essentially, you're rolling down the street and a rolling vulnerability.
Hey, Prideful Bet, show them what you got right there that opens the Teslas. You got that thing that open the Teslas?
Oh, you talking about? Oh yeah, yeah. Hold on, hold on, hold
You
on,
got
hold
you
on,
got that
hold
thing?
on, hold on. We
You got
talking about this the handy dandy.
Andy there. Look at that right there. Look at
Oh,
that
the
thing.
flipper.
Yeah. So I have a brand new X BMW. Let's leave it like that. I got a brand new BMW, right?
I'm not touching anything. Hell no.
And then my daughter cranks up my vehicle from without my keys. So somehow she recorded my key when I was some point turning on the car, and then I put my keys and cards when I get home in like some kind of Faraday cage, so it doesn't doesn't connect to the vehicle again. And then with the flipper zero, she already got my thing recorded. She go poop, turn it on, open the doors. I'm like, God damn it, like this is just hey, we got to talk about it.
She's come a long way, Rick.
Man, she got. So let me tell you
Man,
something. I've been
has
preaching.
she?
I've been preaching to everybody. Hey, Security Plus is the basic number one certification you need to get, right? So everybody in my house got at least a level one, level two certification, AIT level two. Okay, and then yeah, sure, we got yeah. So I'm seeing my daughter studying for the Security Plus. She's my daughter, So like Papa, and then I see her and I'm like, man, she's gonna fail that shit, she's gonna fail that test, and I'm talking to her. I'm like, baby, you need some help, I can teach you, I can help you, do you need the performance based questions? I'm instruct, I can help you. No, she's like, oh, I got it, no, I'll be okay. Can you believe that she goes and then gets like 70 some points over the passing rate? And then I'm like, what the heck happened here? I mean, I barely, when I took what was mine was I took 301. That was mine. I passed by 2 points, you know.
Wow.
And then this girl, and after that, I got all my level 2, level 3
Yeah.
certs, like 13 of them. But seeing my daughter going from okay, like yeah, I study, to like just passing on the first attempt to me, and she took 701. I cannot
Yeah.
I cannot go take 701 right now and pass it. I need to study for like 2 3
Yeah, I
months.
gotta take 701 here soon.
Ooh, yeah, gotta get him. You gotta get him. Yeah. So, but anyway, guys, say thank you so much for guys for joining. You guys are super amazing. Please stand by. I'm gonna close this real quick. I like to talk to you guys real quick. Just 1 second. Everybody watching out there, thank you for joining. Don't forget to watch my other videos. We got some good information for you guys on the everything that we talked today on the video. So links are gonna be on the description of the video. So peace.